Hello everyone, we've got some awesome Hasbro Beyblade news, two of which was from a Belgium site and the other one was provided by Hasbro, so obviously a huge thanks once again to Hasbro for providing the picture so we can do this news video. Very much appreciated and very excited to actually take a look at this. So first off, let's just get it done right off the bat. Typhon, it is a silly little recolor. I look at this as the same for Air Knight and the other one for the older layers or Rooter, whatever. It's fine. It would have been cool if it got an evolution, but really, well, actually, technically speaking, I do remember on the Beyblade Burst behind the scenes, I think they said something along the lines of that Viper Hydrax was like, its design was based on Typhon, so it was like technically the evolution. And if you look at the Hydrax ship to Typhon, it basically is. I don't know why they named it Hydrax and then just name it Typhon. Like, it really, like, look at Viper Hydrax and look at Typhon. They're eerily so similar. They're just so close, and it's so weird they just called it Hydrax. That was so weird. But as far as colors go, it looks fine. It looks fine. It's really the blue part I don't get, because, like, maybe red could have been. Well, I guess they did the blues to match the tip. Oh, the tip is Yard Hypersphere and it's Infinity. This is like okay. And in the comments, you can tell me your thoughts on all of them, because we got some really cool ones after this one. Looks fine. It looks fine. This is like this is an easier way to get Yard Hypersphere. I think Yard Hypersphere is on the Extreme Challenger set, but don't quote me on that one. So this is like an easier way. So if you want Yard Hypersphere single, go get it. I don't remember how well Typhon actually performed. I think it was fine. I'm not too sure. Did it do good or not? Because I think the issue is maybe just like the gap in the snakes to the actual bottom piece of the layer. So I'll double check on that after. I think it was fine, if anything, just like the other ones. Well, actually, one on Hyper Series have been different, because I remember Rooter used to burst so easy, which was also really just due to the performance tip, so maybe it's going to be a little bit different in performance, because it is Hyper Series. And Hyper Series, they kind of changed things up a little bit. Next up, very exciting, there it is, Inferno Salamander. So, Salamander is getting an evolution. This is a Hasbro exclusive evolution. What it means is that Hasbro is the one doing it. It's not like, oh TT is going to do it. No. That's the whole point of a Hasbro exclusive. That's why it's exclusively the Hasbro. That's why you don't see anything for TT for them doing any of the Hasbro exclusive. That's why Shield Kerbeus never will be made by TT, and Salamander will never be made by TT. It'll be made by Hasbro. The same case for like Rooter or Sphinx or Hydrax, etc., etc. Just to give you the idea. As far as design-wise go, I like it quite a bit. The parts on it are wing and a jaggy hypersphere. Is it jaggy hypersphere? Jagged? It would have been cool if it was operate hypersphere. Whatever. The colors match, so I'll take what I can get. I really want to see how this is going to perform. Also, I don't know if they will or if they won't, but I'm curious to see if they're going to do Master Left. Master Devilos Left in specific, because they did Master Devilos right, and I'm just wondering, are they going to do Master Devilos Left? Because if not, then Inferno's the closest thing we're going to get to Master Devilos Left. It'll probably just take that. Because it really, like, Inferno really is just like, kind of like modified Master Left. So, I'm interested. It should perform well, considering how effective Master Left was. Even without all the weight to it, it still should be okay at best. Closer look at it, looks very cool. Also, the reference is the So weight, which, by the way, I should have said this. So originally appeared in TT on TAK Longinus, so we should be getting TAK Lunar eventually, because they reference the So weight. Oh, there is something else. There is some other stuff too, which I'll quickly mention before we move on. It was two names that popped up, which is BHS TAK Leviathan Than? Whatever. L5 and Poison Cyclops Thief. I don't know if I already did a video talking about this, but just to mention it. I literally have no pictures for it. Actually, I don't know what. Am I even going to complain about the Leviathan thing? Okay, if you're a Metal Fight fan, dude, in Metal Fight, they modified the names so weirdly. Like, I remember Bahamut. Like, it was supposed to be like Bahamut, but they in Zero G they made it like Bahamut, so it was M-O-O-T-E. It was really weird, so I'm not gonna complain on that. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of tact, yeah, basically they're gonna do tact. So I'm not wondering, there was Soul something before. Was it Soul Lunar? I'm not too sure. So yeah, they're gonna do tact. They'll probably do tact Lunar or whatever. They're gonna do tact regardless. Obviously, tact is not going to have. Okay, if you don't know what the gimmick of tact was, tact's gimmick was basically where you could put the layer weight on, and depending on the configuration of what layer weight you would put on it, the blades would pop out a certain way. I would assume that they'll. Are they gonna? Well, actually, that's interesting because if they're gonna put the sew thing, are they just gonna mold it where all of them are out? Or are they just gonna mold it where it's only the size, like how it would be if sew was on it? Whatever. Oh, also Poison. Yeah, Poison Cyclops. Well, I'm assuming Poison will be the same like Poison Hydra. If you're wondering what Poison Hydra's gimmick was on the Poison base, kind of shock absorption, like Screw Trident, I believe is the best comparison. Very funny actually. They're doing Poison. So they did Hydrax, but Hydrax looks more like Typhon. They didn't do Hydra. Are they gonna? I'm gonna just move on. All right, so moving on. These ones were provided by Hasbro. So for any old gen fans, we do have some nice news. This is Driger Fang, which took a while for them to actually do, but happy that they're actually doing it. I think the only difference between this one and the actual Driger Fang is just the Japanese letters and where it actually says the name, which is pretty much on all of them. Like they all have had that. Well, actually, I'll wait for the fun. No, well, you can see it there, yeah. It comes with Knuckle and Powerful. Powerful. It's Power Slingshock. Now, I know you're going to be asking why the name changed. Oh, by the way, Keep Slingshock is called Keeper. The reason why, I think, is just to avoid confusion. I know what you're going to say. What about Friction Hypersphere? They might just update the name because it's the normal tip name, and then after when they have to modify it. I'm curious on this one. First off, I'm sure I'll be comparable to the other old gen remakes for slopes. It should be good. Should be good. What I'm very curious about actually is the performance tip, because power and Slingshock tips never failed for replicating the gimmicks, aside from maybe some, like, I guess, like friction off the top of my head. Now, Absorbed actually did have the gimmick, but it was very modified to the point where it didn't actually do the gimmick, but it was still a very, very good stamina tip for Slingshot. I think probably the best thing that came out of the Fafnir Slingshot. So I'm curious if Power is going to have the same gimmick for Hasbro, because the gimmick with Power is the whole spring thing. So that's okay. So that's why Slash Valkyrie would jump so much, because Power would basically activate and would push the spring and kind of lock it in. And that's what basically would save Slash Valkyrie from losing so much. Like, it doesn't have good stamina. That's not really a good attack tip in general, but if I've seen anything from Absorb Slingshot, I want to see if it's like a beefed up Power. If it's a beefed up Power, that's going to be insane. Like, it's going to be tough to burst. If not, I'm not expecting anything. I'll probably just be normal, and it'll just be a little twist thing. But I have high hopes. I have high hopes for this. I really do have high hopes for this one. Oh, just going over to the other stuff, obviously. So, yeah, in the comments, you can let me know your thoughts. And they are going to get to the other ones. There was other ones we found listings for, but I can say it like this. If we have literally no information updated on it, it's probably not going to be for a while. Because look, we got Driger Fang in Wolborg, which we're going to get to in a sec. I feel like I'm butchering the name. But, yeah, Storm Pegasus and Drasil Fortress. I don't know if the Hasbro modified the name for it, but those are Hypersphere. So some of them they'll do Slingshot, I guess. Some of them they'll do Hypersphere. I'm very curious when they'll actually do it. They will do it, because we know, because there's the listing. I'm just curious when. As far as Driger Fang goes, super excited because I actually want to see how powerful it's like, and of course the layer performance. Moving on. I think just the same thing, just the Japanese letters are off and it doesn't say the actual name on it, or Wolf or something. I think it said Wolf on it. It has ring and gyro. So the original parts were 8 in bearing for the burst version. I think other than that, it just doesn't have like the silver metallic paint on it. But sure, I'll take it. So weird seeing it after all this time. So weird seeing it after all this time. Basically the same case like Driger Fang. I just want to see how the layer's going to perform, if anything. I want to see if they gave a good slopes. Because I would say the slingshock ones they did, which were just those recolors, but had like random parts, some were pretty good. For the tips anyways. They had good slopes on them. Like the slopes on them were decent. So I hope it's the same case for this. Because it looks good, but I want to see if it can perform good. I guess Prevail is fine. I have not tested that much Slingshock, so I do not know how good Prevail actually is. I think Prevail was okay. Or maybe I'm wrong, I don't want to say anything wrong, so the competitive comments like, well actually, Prevail wasn't that good for stamina. Yeah, but other than that, just to end it off, I think it's all very exciting. I think what I'm most excited for, obviously for the Hypersphere side, Inferno Salamander, but it'll be cool to see an alternative way to get Yard, I guess, Hypersphere with the Typhon. Driger Fang, I'm just excited for the Powerful. Oh, also to add this, there's no point in getting the screenshot, but there was Balor that I think had Evolution Slingshock, and was it Spiral Trepton that had Keeper Slingshot? I'm not too sure. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'll just safely assume. I feel like those are just going to be, I don't know if they're going to be like a 2-pack or something, but I would safely say that it's probably just going to be like a regular a regular Slingshock release. Like I wouldn't think that, oh, they'll just do something else with it or something. Yeah, but that's really where I want to end off. So in the comments, I want you to let me know your thoughts on this. I always try to read the comments, see what people are saying, get a good idea. So as always, I hope you all have an awesome and amazing day. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell me which Bay was your favorite, and tell me what you're most excited to see, and most excited to see how it's going to perform. So, have an awesome and amazing day.